This is not a how-to video. This is a video of a man struggling for your entertainment. Well, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Termite Off-Road. So, as you can see behind me, Termite's on the lift. We got a problem, pretty serious problem. I don't know what I was gonna be to fix it. So, the other day, I was in Termite. I don't even remember where I went that day. I was going somewhere and I got out and I was like, something smells funny. When you walk around the car, but you don't know if it was from a car in the parking lot before you or whatever. So I didn't think much about it. But then I got back home and I got out and I was like, man, still smell it. So we got something leaking somewhere or something. So I looked under the front and it was absolutely covered with power steering fluid, which is ATF, red ATF just on everything. And I was like, holy smokes. And it was coming out of the steering box. So as you can see here, this is the little dust boot seal. Should not be down here. It should be up in there. And that looks like some kind of seal right there, maybe, or something. I'm not sure. Right here. Either way, it is absolutely dumping fluid out right here. So, I don't know. We're going to have to get in there and see. We've got a seal kit that I'm hoping is the right one. Went to the parts house, got one for 89 Wagoneer, and this is the one it showed. We'll see. But, so this steering box is a reman from Cardone. You can see the paint marks on there. When we first got Termite, 4 years ago, the steering in it was horrible. I mean, it was so sloppy. So I went and I got a new steering box, a reman steering box from Cardone at the parts house. Put it in, and this was before YouTube and stuff. And it had a catch in it. Like it would turn and it would like jam in and go. So I had to pull it back off, took that one back. They swapped it out, gave me this one, and it's been fine ever since until the other day. My truck has, I put a rack and pinion on it not long after I got it, 6-7 years ago, whatever it was. And it also Cardone. And about 1.5 years, 2 years into it, one of the outer seals on it started leaking. Same thing, they swapped it out, gave me a new one, and this one's been in my truck, been fine ever since. So, I don't know if this is going to be the result of just chinchy seals, and it just eventually let go. At first, I thought, well, maybe the Hemi power steering pump is putting out too much pressure, and it blows it out. That's maybe possible. I know a lot of people, and I've already looked into it, and I've got a plan if that is the case. Sublime sells deals to put in the power steering pump to lower the pressure. But we've put over 3,000 miles on Termite this year with the Hemi in it and have not had a problem. And I have no experience with that, but I would think that if that pump was putting out too much pressure, that it would have pushed past the seal a long time ago. Wouldn't wait 3,000 plus miles to do it. That's just my thinking. Plus the way that seal just seems to be just hanging out the bottom. I think the seal just failed. But we'll see. The other thing that I fixed the other day, we'll see what it does, is when we put all of this in, and you remember a few videos back, if you watched it, I redid the hoses under here, the returns and all that kind of stuff. Well, in doing that, after I did it, we had talked about the noisy pump inside. Either the power steering pump is noisy or the Hydro Boost. One of them is making whiny noise. I found on another website about the T, and I had my T hooked up wrong. Now, I've got it hooked up right now, but I don't know. I haven't been able to check it. I just did the T yesterday. I didn't film it because it was just not interesting. But anyway, so your straight line, this would be coming from the steering gear, the steering box. This is going back to your reservoir. And your hydro boost is coming down from here. I had mine hooked up steering gear, hydro boost, reservoir. And it says that when you do that, you are putting constant back pressure because the steering gear and the hydro boost are in line, and it puts a constant back pressure back to the hydro boost. So I don't know if that was the cause of the whine. I don't know. But I fixed that. Everything under here is covered, but you can see our new hose and tee is up here because to get all of that lined up right, I kind of had to run it back in there. But we're pretty close to the steering arm there, but I'm gonna try to suck that up a little bit more. But anyway, that's all redone, reorganized. I'm hoping that may fix the whine. I'm not 100% sure if it will or not. I don't know. But anyway, enough talking. Right now, it's hot as all get out here today. I'm not gonna do much, but I'm just gonna get the nut popped off. We're gonna get the pinion arm off. Got my puller here. And we're gonna see what that looks like up in there. I've never rebuilt a steering box on a Wagoneer. I've never rebuilt a power steering box, period. I've rebuilt the manual box on the Super Bee, but I've never done one of these. So I have no idea what all this is completely going to entail. But anyway, I'm gonna get this nut off. We'll drop the pitman arm and we'll see what we're dealing with. All right, it's an 1 5/16 socket. I would love to put a redhead steering box on this thing. If any of y'all have one, can you tell the difference? Is it worth the money? It's not on there just superbly straight, but we'll see what it is. I can find my light. Oh man. Looking for my light. That's it right there. It's pitch black in there, so I can't even tell what's going on. So now let me get my light down and we'll take a look in there and see what's happening. All right, y'all, see if y'all can see. All right, there's your seal. You can see it up in there. According to this chart, and I'm gonna assume that is this seal here. According to this chart, this retainer and a washer should be underneath. You get your nut, your lock washer, retainer, washer, seal, bearing. Now, again, I don't know. This was supposed to all be right stuff. I don't know if that seal I don't know. But I know when you crank it, it is just pouring out of there. I mean, you can see the trail. It's been a few days now. It's kind of gotten swept up some, but it was just literally just a trail, and you can see how wet everything is back up in here. And I've washed it out too, so. All right, now I've got to kind of see I don't know if you got to pull this, which if I do, that top hat's got to come off, which if that's the case, as you can see, that ain't gonna happen. So we'll have to just drop the whole box. But there's all your deal there. So, I don't know. I was hoping it would just be like a simple seals right there, pop it out, pop the new ones in. I don't know. So, we're gonna see what we gotta do. All right, we are back in the shop. trying to get the seal out of this steering box. So I've been doing some research, and I come across every now and then somebody that has a steering box like this one that does not have a retainer ring, a little C-clip in the bottom. But there's not a lot of information on them. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what holds the seal in. I do not know. The most popular ones have a little retainer ring in the bottom, and you pop them all out. Everything's good to go. These cannot find much information on. So what I'm going to do, my plan is at the moment, is to get the seal, at least this seal. I don't know what all is up in here, but we're going to at least try to get this bottom seal out. I'm thinking there may just be one seal because, I mean, it's about here. And I know there's a bearing here somewhere, so it may be just that one seal. I don't know. I know the retainer rings have what they call the double lip seal. And I don't know if we've videoed this already. I could use that kit that I have. It fits on the shaft. All that is good, but there is no groove in here for the retainer ring that holds it all in there. So right now I am in the process of looking for, I know a popular swap is to do like a S10 swap on these, and I have found one on Marketplace that is close by, and I've messaged them to see if it was a 2-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive. I hadn't heard nothing back yet, but they don't want much for it. It's in really good shape. So if I can find a 4-wheel drive box for this, we may go ahead and swap it, because the steering in this is very, very light, and I've never really liked it. And when I started researching, I found out that's a common thing with the FSJs. A lot of people complain about the steering feeling almost over boosted all the time. So I don't know, but anyway, for right now, I'm gonna just try to get the seal out, and if we can get it out, we'll go from there. I tried to run a screw up in there, and it just would not go. So I'm going to take a tiny drill bit, and drill me a little hole, and then run a screw in there and see if I can pry it out with that. So that's what I'm doing this afternoon. So I don't have any tiny drill bits, so I'm just going to start with what I have. I've had these DeWalt drills for a while. I'm not impressed with the chucks on them. See, it pierced through the rubber, but then it's hitting something metal. Now, I know that you can do the trick where you put the pitman arm back on, turn the wheel to lock, and just kind of keep bumping it to lock, and it will pop the seal out. I don't know if that's going to work on this one, because everybody that I've heard doing that or seen doing that has it with a retainer. This has no retainer. So I don't know how that would work with a seal that never had a retainer in it to begin with. So I haven't tried that yet, because I don't know if it's going to work. So anyway, I need to try to find a smaller drill bit or something that will go in, and just really don't feel like doing this. You ever just have something that's like, some projects are fun, like, yeah, I'm still digging that bird nest out, if y'all remember a few episodes back. But, sometimes you got projects that's like, oh, this would be fun, it's a nice upgrade. This is one of those that I'm just like, I don't want to fool with this. Just really don't want to be doing this. But a redhead box is like $500. Can't do that right now. So, all right, let me go dig around and see if I can find a drill bit. All right, so no avail on drilling our screw. Andrew's getting in termite now, and she's gonna crank it, and we're gonna try the turning and see if it pushes the seal out that way. I don't know if it will or not. It's worth a shot. Whenever you're ready. Screaming, I know, but you gotta do it. All right, well that didn't work. I kind of didn't think it would. So, I mean, it's kind of looking like I'm gonna have to pull this stupid steering box out. I think they call that the sector shaft. I gotta take the sector shaft out the top and then see if I can get that seal out. Man, I hope they just messes me back and be like, yeah, it's out of a 4-wheel drive. Well, then I'm coming to get it because I don't want to do all this. All right, well, I'll let you know what we decide. Couldn't get the seal to pop out yesterday, as you saw. So today I'm just going to take the box out. And I know, seeming kind of whiny about this. I don't know why. I just don't want to be doing this. But we had termite all done. Tent was on. We were ready. And then this stupid box. But anyway, and second rant. What is wrong with people on Marketplace? The last 3 or 4 things that I've tried to buy, I'm used to people ghosting me when I'm selling something. But lately, the last 3 or 4 things we've attempted to buy on Marketplace, the seller has ghosted us. They just don't respond back. They just quit talking. And I'm not asking crazy questions. I just, the people with the S10 steering box, I said, was it from a 2-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive? Because their gear ratios are different. And I was hoping it's from a 4-wheel drive. And they messaged back and said it was from a 2-door. I said, no, that doesn't matter. Sorry if I misunderstood. I meant 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Because I had put 2WD or 4WD in the first time. And they just don't say nothing back. So I don't know. So we're going to pull this one out. Take the sector shaft, I believe is what that's called, out. Try to get that seal out. And go from there. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, these are pretty easy to do. I've already got the pitman shaft. It's just sitting on there. You got to undo that first. I've already got that undone. You got a bolt here, 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 and here. These 4 bolts. That's what actually holds the steering box to the frame. You've got 2 lines in there that we have already undone once. So I've tightened them back up. I'll untighten them again. And then, of course, I don't know if you can see it in here. There's the new T and all the stuff I've put in. But in there also, I don't know if we can see it from here. There is that rag joint right there that's got to be undone. So, and everything's wet with power steering fluid because I've been working in there from the leak. So, All right, we are unhooked here. You don't have to undo those, just the two that go through those holes. This is a Borgeson joint that I put in right after we got termite. You can do, they do like XJ lowers, put XJ stuff down here. I've never done all that. I guess, you know, that's all kind of part of stuff that I would like to do, maybe to termite in the future if the parts and stuff come up, but for right now, it's, you know, it is what it is, it works. I guess it's popped in 4 bolts and it'll come out then. I may have to get Andrew to come out here and do the bolts so I can catch the steering head, so. All right, let's get that thing out. So we should be able to undo these 4 bolts and that whole deal come out because it just works on a deal like that in there. So and then this little nut on top, that's what you adjust to get your slack. If you got a lot of slack in yours, turn that dude and take out some of that slack, because all that does is put pressure down on that bearing. So, because you will wear that bearing out. Should have thought about that beforehand. There's a retainer ring. All right. That makes me feel a little bit better. Because the whole time I was like, what in the world is holding? There's a washer and a seal. Okay. All right. That's why I wouldn't push the seal out. Let me see if you guys can see what I got here. So you can see there's our retainer ring. We got another seal under that. I got a washer, a seal, the retainer ring, a washer, and the seal. You can see where my drill bit was hitting, trying to drill. I kept saying, I was like, it's popping through the seal. She is fully dismantled. Here's our 2 seals. I kind of tore this one up. I had to knock it out with a flat bar and a hammer from the top. But that seal is real dry and crunchy. It's very dried out. You know, most it feels soft. This one feels dry. I don't like an old seal, but so it looks like this kit is the right kit because it's got 1 washer, 2 seals, and a retainer. So that's everything that come out of this one: 2 seals, a washer, and a retainer. So, but this one just has the retainer and then a seal on the outside of the retainer, which is odd. All the other ones I saw had all the seals inside. So I'm assuming that last seal maybe is just for keeping stuff out, not necessarily keeping stuff in. But it also has this little dust boot that presses up in there as well. So I don't know, but this seal does feel nasty, like real dried. Just don't feel real. I don't know if you can hear that. It just feels real dry. This one, about the same. They just don't feel, and I don't know if that tear was from me or if it was there before, but they just don't feel soft and pliable like you get on these. And let's see. These just feel a lot more firm, a lot more together. So, like I said, I don't think that the power steering in here was to blame. I think it was just seal failure. So, anywho, I'm gonna tap all this stuff, put those seals back in, and put this thing back in Termite. All right, guys. Well, once I started putting the seals back in, after I got the first seal in, I realized there was still quite a bit of room up to the lock ring groove, and so during the entire reassembly process, I was actually able to put all the seals back in the way the diagram showed, where they were all held back in under the retaining ring. So I still don't know why that other seal was on the outside of the retaining ring. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be, or if that was just a manufacturer flaw whenever they rebuilt these things. I don't know, but nonetheless, I put it all back together like the diagram. It all fit nice and tight underneath the retaining ring. So yeah, it all went back in like showed in the picture. All right, well, it's all back together. Pumps back in, lines hooked back up, pitman arms hooked back up. I don't know what to expect. We'll see. Hopefully it holds. I don't know why that was like that. Y'all tell me if you know. Did they put the seal in the wrong spot? Or I don't know. It don't make no sense that the same parts that came out of it is the same parts in this diagram, and this diagram, again, shows them in that order. And every video or anything I watched or read about anything with this showed it going back like this. So I don't know. Anyway, that's where I put it back in. It all went back together. The retainer clip was kind of tight in there, but it did. I made sure it clipped. It's clipped into the groove. I put that dust boot back in there, put a little RTV around it like they had it, and stuck that back in there. That's just to keep, I guess, as an extra layer of protection. I don't know. But anyway, tomorrow we'll get some fluid. We'll see what this thing does. Hopefully not leak. I topped off with what I had and then just topped the rest off with ATF4. It really is the same thing. So, you know, and I already had a good bit of this stuff. So anyway, we have, I've already turned the wheel without running the pump back and forth, and just to kind of get major air bubbles out. So we'll crank it up now and let it start trying to bleed out the system and make sure it don't come spraying out the steering box. Well, y'all, sorry about that. My phone just quit recording and I didn't know. I'm sitting here talking to it, talking to you guys and all this kind of stuff. And I went back to stop it and it had been stopped. So, and I went back, look, you didn't even see it crank. Well, it crunk. We got it bled off. I got it back in the air, just checking for leaks. Everything looks good on this end from what I can tell. So I guess we're gonna just set her down. I'm curious to see if fixing that T is going to help quieten down the whine that we have. I don't know. We're just going to have to drive it and see. But anyway, everything looks good. So I'm going to get Termite back on the ground, get it out of the shop. Big thing is steering box was not leaking. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on everything and start the process of, you know, getting back on the road. Well, it did it again. I don't know why. I don't know if it's that holder hitting buttons on my phone or what. But Termite that. It's not leaking. It's still whining a little bit, but I know it's still gonna have some air in the system, and so we're just gonna keep driving it and letting it work all that out. So I don't know if putting that T correct is gonna help with the noise, but at least I know it's hooked up right and the system's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So there's that. Everything else in Termite's doing great. No other issues, nowhere else. So anyway, we're just gonna keep driving it. So I guess that's it, guys. This week, little Wagoneer action for you. We're kind of getting anxious. We're excited. This coming September, the window opens up for reservations in Big Bend. So we're kind of standing by, hoping to get a reservation to be able to camp in Big Bend late winter, early spring of next year. That's going to be Termite's biggest trip so far, furthest away. It's going to take us probably a couple of day driving, getting out there. And we're going to spend, we're planning on about 5-6 days camping out in Big Bend. So we're really, really looking forward to that. So we're trying to make sure everything is tip-top on Termite, no issues. And so we're going to keep just driving it, working out little bugs along the way and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. Give us a like, a subscribe, comment below. Help us get to 3,000 subscribers here. We're so close. We've been doing this for 4 years now, and it's about time we hit 3,000. We really want to see 3,000 hit on there. So if you enjoyed this, give us a subscribe, comment below. We'd love to talk back and forth with you, get to know you. Anyway, we'll see y'all next week.